Fuck, man. If I was Ben Grimm, I would be straight out pissed off too. No dick. Guys, to think about it reviews, and we are talking Fantastic for 2015. No, not those shitty ass films. We're talking about the newest addition to the franchise, but a reboot. Now, this is directed by Josh Tranks. It also stars Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mora, Jamie Bell, Toby Kebbell, Reggie Cathy, Kate Mora. Oh, I love me some Kate Mora. I'm just saying that right now. In all honesty, when I went into this film, there's a lot of backlash, a lot of shit, especially with Josh Tranks. He was tanked. No, he was tanked most of the time. His behavior directing this, his recent comments about the studio getting involved and getting away and making the film not as good. Just a lot of negativity for this film before it was even released. We haven't got the trailers were a little bit funky, different kind of tones. So I finally saw this film, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm definitely going to say it right away. You should not probably spend your money on this film at the movie theaters. However, it is a great rental. I do recommend you watch it, but since my little how I do this, I can't recommend it, if that makes sense. I can't recommend you watching this in a movie theater, but I can recommend you watching this on DVD or streaming platform or whatever. Because in all honesty, this film is better than the last two films. The last two films were just so fucking stupid. Like, they were just really cartoony, bad acting. Here we have a great cast, and I want to see hopefully this franchise go forward with this cast. I really, really like the cast that they have for all these, for Johnny, Sue, Reed, even Dr. Doom. I love Kebbell. I think Kebbell is a great actor. The look that they gave Dr. Doom in this film was fine, but I want to see him in that armor, in that mask, but it was okay. But before I get to that, what you need to know about this film is basically it's an origin story of Reed Richards. We start with Reed and Ben, their childhood friends. And then along the way, when they get picked up by the government because Reed has found a way to not only teleport things, but also bring it back. And that's what the government needs. They need him to bring shit back because they could teleport shit, but they can't bring it back. So basically, that's the gist of the story. And along the way, we meet Johnny, Michael B. Jordan. We meet Sue, who's Kate. And, I love me some Kate. I like their dad. I think the dad was really great. I think this whole cast really had good chemistry with each other. I like the relationship between Ben and Reed. That is that relationship has been there for years. The comic books and the films. I mean, that's the strong force because it's once they get teleported to this new dimension, they get fucked up. They do stuff that I'm gonna get to that point right now. They go to this new dimensions and they get their powers and stuff. So it's mostly Reed's fault that Ben is now the thing, like this rock thing with no dick. That's how it is. So, but I did like through the whole film their relationship. I really thought it was genuine. I really liked how Jamie Bell and Miles Teller played off each other. I wanted to like Kate and Johnny's story. Or Sue and Johnny's story. However, I believe they dropped the ball on there. They didn't give me enough. I felt like I didn't get to know Johnny Storm at all in here. Just to know that he likes to fucking race and his daddy wanted him to work at his lab, because he's not using his full potential. I thought Kate did a great job as Sue. I really like Sue in this film. I really like Sue and Reed's relationship. I thought that was more organic, more genuine than the other films. Even in the comics, I really thought they had chemistry. It doesn't go They don't dive into that relationship. It's really just setting up for that long-lasting relationship that we know in the comics. So I thought that was great. But I did think they dropped the ball in some relationship aspects, especially with Johnny's story and with Doom, with Victor Von Doom. What they did with him, as he's like a hacker, and they bring him in, you know, and he's a genius. However, I felt like I didn't get enough of Cable. I thought, you know, they didn't really bring out a lot of Cable's character out. I mean, he's just, you know, they didn't make him that kind of stereotypical, like, oh, well, kind of they did. They kind of did. They made him angry, basically. They always make these villains angry about something, about the world dying, this and that. So I felt like Cable did a good of a job as he was given. I wanted more of him, and I'm letting you guys know right now, there is no Doom in this film. You only get Doom is like Venom from Spider-Man 3. The actual villain Doom, you're only going to see maybe 10 minutes of him, and that's about it. So that was kind of a disappointment. So let's get on to the disappointing factors, because by all means, even though I enjoyed the film and I thought it wasn't as bad as a lot of critics and a lot of people are saying, and I'm saying you should check it out on DVD or streaming or whatever, there's a reason why I don't say don't pay the $11.50 to go into the full price. But of course, you're going to make up your mind. This is called Think About It Review. So you're going to let's have a discussion here. I felt that this film really took a back seat, but the stupidity of these characters are supposed to be smart as hell, right? They made a fucking teleportation, and the whole idea, the premise, and all that stuff, it's kind of stupid. It's kind of dumb. But these characters, other than Sue, are stupid. Let me say, all you need is a tequila bottle and courage, and you're ready to go transport to another dimension. Fuck NASA, people. Give me a tequila bottle. I'm ready to get my ass on going. So these guys, I know what Victor was talking about, how, okay, you got Buzz, and then you got Armstrong. I felt that. I felt that line, when he said, yeah, then you got a guy who's on the bar stool, saying, I'm the one that sent men to the moon. And he doesn't get jack shit. He gets no fame. It's like football. Offensive line doesn't get shit, but defensive line, defense all the way, man. Oh, it's offense. But anyway, so these characters, they go into this other dimension. Even they're a little bit wasted, they feel like they have the right to do it, but it's just stupidity how once they get into the other dimension, because there's one scene in this film where there shouldn't, it's like a horror film, right? How the girl's like, oh, she hears something in the garage or whatever, she shouldn't open that door, she shouldn't go check that out. Well, fucking these characters do it, and it's stupid. It is very, very, very stupid. And even the whole motion of getting Ben to go in their little group and go to this new dimension was a little dumb as well. I mean, you have this teleportation. You're gonna have security around it, watching it 24/7. This is not a toy. So they make it feel like it's a fucking toy. And when they're in another planet, other dimension, they don't know they're not capable. They're not capable. They're not, they're not ready for whatever is surrounding them. But of course, they go on that planet, and for some reason, when they're in Fantastic Four version 2, they can breathe in that planet. I mean, it was such an odd. It was so stupid. I was just really, really pissed off at that fact. I've seen, this is the stupidest thing. This is the laziest writing, honestly, to get them their powers. And not only that, I think that some of the dialogue was kind of really bad as well, especially the one delivery in the line that Miles Teller does. I can't forget what it was, but when he said it, I was like, oh my god, are you serious? I'm saying the acting is great in here. It's not, fantastic, but some of it is really, really good. Also, the special effects, the CGI was subpar. I was expecting a little bit better. Some of it looked good. Some of it looked kind of terrible. So it was like a mix of that. The suits, the costumes. I mean, this is like pre-Fantastic Four, when they're going to create their suits and shit. I thought that was fine, but my god, dude, can we give us some underwear to the Thing? I did not want to watch this movie with his butt ass naked. And the Thing's hardly even in here anyway. So, I guess there's that. The fight choreography was a little wonky, I gotta say. It wasn't as clean, and the pacing and the editing was just all over the place. It was a mess. Like, the beginning was slow. It really doesn't pick up until like the whole everybody's like going on to this nut. It doesn't pick up until that very middle of the second act, and then to the third act. But still, there's a lot. It's slow in the beginning. It's okay. It has my interest, but then it's just all over the place. Like you have different kind of emotions. Like, oh, all right, and they're like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, okay. Like, fuck, man. Like, it just the beats too. Like, it's a generic origin film as well. There's something you've seen 1,000 times, but out of all the messiness and out of all the pacing and editing and sometimes acting and CGI and all those issues, it's still, to me, watching this film, like, it seems like a step a little bit to the right direction. I gotta say, The Thing, though, looked terrible in the beginning. I thought it looked really bad in the beginning. I think towards the end, I kind of like softened up a little bit. He looked a little bit better. I mean, this is a better version than the last two films, but I do feel like they haven't got The Thing quite right yet. But he looked a lot better than the last two films, honestly, in my opinion. But out of all this stuff and all the negativity, I don't think it should give that much of a fucking, of a whooping. Because it's not that bad. It's not Spider-Man 3 bad. It is actually, there's a lot of things to enjoy in this film. However, there's a lot of things that are bad in this film. I could see people getting bored with this, but the team overall and the casting, I really like the team. I really like this casting. I really like whoever's, everybody playing their characters. I could see them, I would love to see them in a different type movie than this film that they gave us, because I think there's something there. However, they need to really get somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. Script writing is top notch, and really make the Fantastic Four really relevant. Now, there's this thing about crossover between X-Men and Fantastic Four, which I'll cover in another video, so you can check that out. But right now, Fantastic Four, I do love what the casting choices and all stuff. I was a little iffy about it, but I think there is great potential there. This is what this film is all about. Great potential. However, it's squandered by this first installment that's just not very good. So let's hopefully, if they do move forward, they move forward with a veteran director or a better director than Josh Tranks. Because I've seen some, he wasn't too bad. The way he presented the film, the way he, had the tone and feel of it was not too bad. I never really felt like there was necessarily, shots out of place, or the camera work wasn't just too crazy, or I could see all the fighting and stuff. I thought Josh Tranks direction wise was not too bad. However, it's just he just couldn't handle all the pressure, I believe. So we need to get somebody in here that could do that. But overall, I did enjoy Fantastic Four, some of it, but I do feel like this is not a film that should be paid for in the theater, like full price or anything like that. It should definitely be a rent. I don't think it's the most horrible film in the world, but I don't recommend you watch Fantastic Four in the movie theaters, but I do recommend you watch it in rental or streaming. But like I said, this is the thing about the reviews. If you're going to go watch it, because you're going to go watch a film anyway. I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on the matter. And if you do think this is a terrible film, which I wouldn't really argue too much, because there's a lot of things wrong with this film, but as I watched it from point A to point B, it wasn't that bad. I think Spider-Man 3 is much worse than this, and I think the other two Fantastic Four films, 3 if you count that, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, 3 of them were just straight out just pieces of shit. So it wasn't too bad. But thank you guys for listening. Like I always say, first subscribe, like, and comment below. And like I always say, grab a tick, grab a seat, make sure you got some good popcorn to eat. See you at the cinema. See you guys.